Miriam writes that she has a question about a pretty typical scenario. The pursuer expresses her emotional needs by giving the withdrawer a to-do list.
Oh man, yes, so tempting, right?
Yeah. And the withdrawer, actually, Miriam's able to help the withdrawer get in touch with their emotions, talk about what blocks his capacity to fulfill the to-do list, talk about how important the pursuer is to him. Mm-hmm. But the pursuer is not moved. Mm-hmm. She's just blocked. So Miriam's thinking, I think I need to validate the pursuer more to help her soften a little bit to take in the withdrawer's new engagement. But not sure what to do in this situation.
Yeah. Wow. Nuances, right? Lots of layers there.
Yeah.
Lovely that Miriam's catching the process that feels like an impasse, not a clinical impasse, but it just feels like when the pursuer can't take in the withdrawer's newly emerging, pings.
Right.
I would not let my pursuers give a task list because a list of tasks, which often implies behavioral stuff, won't scratch the wife's emotional itch or her unmet attachment needs and longings. I want to encourage Miriam to work more intrapsychically with the pursuer to inhibit the task list that actually isn't working anyway. When the withdrawer does something on the task, as Miriam's question said, it just still isn't enough. I remember something about if X is done, then there's still Y to be done.
Yeah.
And so the pursuer's giving this task list to the partner from a closed limbic place. It's from a cognitive place and is trying to get her attachment needs met. Do I matter? Am I important? From a list of things. Your attachment needs won't be met if you're limbically closed, if you're limbically not open. And that's why I'm guessing it's a piece of why her the partner's reaches back for her aren't landing. There's no access. I'm encouraging Miriam to say, okay, the task list isn't about attachment needs. It's too behavioral. And so I'm encouraging Miriam to think of that as still a version of the pursuer's pursuit. If you do these things for me, I'll finally feel loved, except it's not working because you do some of these things, but not others. And sometimes I try to feel loved, but then I can't let your love in and I end up not feeling loved and important and mattering anyway. So I would encourage slow down, work intrapsychically. And as we said yesterday, what is the emotion, pursuer? What is the emotion on the inside that compels you to write a task list?
The task list is the coping.
Beautiful, yes.
Yeah, and so we have to begin to understand what is the emotion that fuels that coping. But the withdrawer really can't respond to coping. He needs to, or she needs to, or they need to respond to the emotion.
Exactly. The withdrawer won't be successful in responding to the pursuer's coping because it will still feel like I'm not measuring up. And so we have to recognize the pursuer's task list is a version of their coping, understandably so, but we want to help the pursuer share more and more of his or her, their inner world before they write the task list.
That's great.
Yeah.
For more hot tips on emotionally focused therapy, go to theeftcafe.com and sign up for our newsletter where you will receive short little clips like the one you just watched.